There's just something to be said about starting your day off by climbing out of bed slowly, opening up the curtains to welcome in the morning light, taking in the slow moments where your children are inviting you to see the beauty in the mundane. Chickens are scratching and pecking in the yard, waiting for me to come out and give them their daily treats and food scraps. I swear, at this point, they know the sound of a window opening. They come running as soon as they realize we opened one. Starting my morning off by making my bed, despite knowing that it will quickly be altered by tiny jumping feet and excited hands, eager to rid the mattress of any and all bedding that's in their way. I find it to be a profound way of setting the tone, despite the destruction that is inevitable. I'm not even going to sit here and pretend like making my bed is a daily occurrence, although I do try to prioritize it. Realistically, I'm probably only doing this full routine 3 to 4 times a week. Again? Yeah! Today I am going to take you along in a day of the life of playing catch up. If you watched my last video, you would have seen that at the end we were getting sick. And on this particular day, I had finally had enough of just simply surviving and trying to make it to the next task when I couldn't even finish the last. Recovering from what felt like a month-long sickness on top of the end of my pregnancy, it just had me further behind on the household chores than I care to admit. I feel like I am always making these videos from a place of survival or trying to play catch up, and if we are being honest here, that's just the current state of life. That is my day-to-day reality. Admittedly, I should probably give myself more credit because never did the outside chores come neglected. The children were always fed, meals were on the table, things that have to happen in order for day-to-day life to continue running. But other things like deep cleaning the sheep pen or washing the windows, those types of things are the ones that fell behind. And the dishes, oh my gosh, the dishes and the laundry, don't even get me started on those. Everything was always taken care of, but I didn't get the energy back in my second trimester like I have in the past. I mean, I have the farm to take care of, 2 littles to keep up with. It's kind of a given that I'm not going to exactly have the greatest energy ever, but usually going into my second trimester, I start to feel a little better. So to get sick on top of already trying to pull myself out of that hole, that just felt like a kick in the gut while I was already down. In certain seasons of life, the house just gets away from you, then you pull it all back together. And that's just the rhythm of these days. And I don't say any of that to make excuses or to invite pity on myself. I say it because I know that someone watching this is in a similar season as me, where it feels like it's a one task, one moment, one day at a time, just to pull yourself back to level ground, where getting it together doesn't always look like a productivity routine or an aesthetic morning. Funny that that part of the script should fall right when I show my broken mug of coffee that I had spent the morning making for myself. What a perfect opportunity to show the realities of day-to-day life. Anyways, as I was saying, sometimes getting it together just looks like surviving until nap time. And then you may find yourself in a place of trying to choose between feeding yourself or finding 20 minutes just to start with one corner of the room for the children inevitably wake up needing lunch, needing some one-on-one time. You get my point, right? You have probably heard some version of the quote, "We all have the same 24 hours in a day, so make them count." And I understand the intention behind it, but I've never quite been able to get behind it in motherhood specifically, because the premise doesn't really ring true to me. Also, this is a judgment-free zone, okay? This is the state of my son's room at all times at the moment, and you will see, hopefully, in upcoming videos where we completely revamp this room and other areas in our house to make things a little bit more functional before this baby comes. I have lots of plans. The nesting hormones are definitely starting to kick in. I was talking with my friend the other day about how crazy nesting hormones make you feel. They literally make you want to get on your hands and knees and scrub every inch of your house until it is meticulously clean. A girl could dream, right? Some days it feels more possible than others, and other days I am just trying to keep up with the daily tasks. Which brings me back to my main point of this conversation today. It could be said that we all have the same number of hours in a day, but we do not all have the same 24 hours. What we do not have is the same circumstances that happen inside of those hours that are locked into a day's worth of time. A good example of this is a mother whose children sleep through the night. She seemingly lives a completely different lifestyle or has a different routine than the mother who hasn't had an uninterrupted night of sleep in 2+ years. The mother who wakes before her kids to have a quiet cup of coffee and Bible time before the day begins likely lives a different reality than the mother who was woken up before dawn by little ones in immediate need of attention before she has even taken a single breath for herself. One mother's morning routine is another mother's unimaginable luxury, not because either of them is doing it wrong, but because they are simply in different seasons of life. And seasons change. That's the whole point. On this particular day, I caught a wild hair to deep clean our tack and feed room and do a little pickup here and there on the property. This was one of the first nice days that we had this year, and it just brought me back to life. Fair warning, you are about to see me gag. Being in the second trimester by no means guarantees that I am safe from getting my gag reflex triggered at any time. Oh my god, this stinks so bad. I don't even want to know what that was. I just touched it. Okay, I'm not usually this dramatic, but whew. Even if I wasn't pregnant, this likely would have been a big moment of disgust and potential gagging, because what the heck was that? Oh hey. We've been looking for those. Nasty. If you have made it this far and you are enjoying what I share here, it would mean so much to me if you would hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you see when I post next. You can also find me over on TikTok and Instagram, where I share more in-between moments from our days here on the homestead. I really do appreciate your support more than I could say, and if anything I've talked about today resonated with you, I'd love to hear more from you in my comments or in my DMs. I'm always happy to keep the conversation going. I think we walked maybe a half a mile. I have to look at my ultrahuman ring and see what it says, but whew, I'm definitely starting to feel like I'm heading into my third trimester. But we did get Lennon to sleep, And now Weston is playing with his new excavator on this poop pile that I built over the summer. When I was originally coming up with the script for this video, I did not think that I was going to be talking about the whole 24 hours in a day thing. I thought it was just going to be some whimsical explanation of a day in the life playing catch up while we experience our first real sign of spring here in the middle of February when I was recording this. We have since had many beautiful days like this, although at the time of recording this voiceover, we are currently in a winter storm. And while it's always windy here, the wind is quite intense today. I really felt it placed on my heart to speak to mothers specifically, no matter the season that you are in, and to touch on the comparison trap and spiral that many of us find ourselves in throughout our lives and motherhood journeys. As women in general, I think we tend to compare ourselves to others, but motherhood is just a really specific and special kind of beast, and you could quickly lose your footing and fail to stay grounded if you remain in a space where you are constantly comparing yourself against others. To the mother that's in the thick of daily life with young children, the no sleep, sick while pregnant, house got away from you thick of it, you will not be in that place forever. There is a time coming where you get back your night's worth of sleep, or your mornings for quiet Bible and coffee time. And I would hope that the mother who feels like she finally has her footing back underneath her looks back on her journey and any hardships that she faced with the ability to look unto others with tenderness, offering a place of compassion and understanding to the newer moms still in the thick of it. By the way, here I am drinking my adrenal cocktail mix that you saw me mixing up earlier, and now making my raw carrot salad. I believe I have tutorials for these on my Instagram or my TikTok, and if I do, I will link those below. I was also thinking about making a pregnancy nutrition video where I could put in these recipes. That way it would be in long form and fully explained here. Just let me know if that's something you want to see. This raw carrot salad and these sausages are just really easy go-to meals for me throughout my day. I recently made a Azure Standard haul for all my gluten-free flour needs. I am currently back in my gluten-free sourdough era. That's something that you are interested, I will definitely start sharing more of that, because I know before when I was making gluten-free sourdough, I had tons of people interested and I just didn't end up getting any more content out than just the basic things that I posted in my story. So I'm looking forward to sharing more about that. I also ended up getting a bag of organic chicken feed that my chickens are now thriving on. So I'm very happy with my tiny but mighty Azure Standard haul for the month of February. I really just want to wrap up and say that we are all just doing the best we can with the hours and the energy and the season of life that we have been given. We are not in competition with one another. We should not be measuring the same things against each other, whether we're in the same phase of life or worlds apart. So if you are in a hard season right now, one that is asking more than you feel like you can bear, I want you to know that the 24 hours that you are just simply surviving in are not the same 24 hours that someone else seems to be thriving in. Just surviving certain seasons does not make you less than others who seemingly have it all together. Although that's just a conversation for another time, because what we perceive as reality is rarely ever the truth. Simply just surviving does not make you less than someone else. It makes you honest, human even, especially if you're willing to admit to someone else that you are struggling. There's something incredibly honorable about admitting that you are in a hard season. offering that vulnerability, hoping someone will meet you there and say, "Me too." The house will come back together. It always does. What I show here today is proof of that. So thank you for walking through this season of life with me and sticking with me to the end. Until next time.